Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Lecaaaaa Meet Elo, where I play games, where I show you all games from my colleagues, and so on and so on. And I played a game that I played it so badly at the end of it that I wanted to go bald. And yeah, it was probably the most accurate game in Lecaaaaa in this tournament like ever on mid elo, and it was probably the longest because it was 102 moves long and was equal for a very considerable amount, and also highly theoretical, which was a Sicilian defense, of course, and it is the first game I'm going to be showing you. Unfortunately, I lost, but I will show you. But before you go any further, I have an announcement. I have been recently working on a Sicilian video. It's going to be a 5-parter. It's going to be giving you one weapon for the open Sicilian, a weapon for the closed Sicilian, a weapon for the Alpine, a weapon for the Battler, and a weapon for any nonsense you're going to be seeing along the way, mainly directed towards intermediate and beginners that say that the Sicilian is trash and you should avoid it. And as a Sicilian player, I'm personally offended, and I will be making a guide. And after all the 5 videos have been made, most likely there will be a mega video and a specific playlist where you can go and watch it. That's all I had for the Sicilian. That will most likely be coming either in June or July, once school exams are done and when I have a lot more free time to work on it. But I promise it will come eventually. And yeah, let's begin with the first game. Join the Discord and let's begin with the first game. I said this twice already, which was very highly theoretical in the beginning, and people were really questioning my mental state because I literally sat down and analyzed Grandmaster play for just one opening. Alright, let's go to the games. And the game begins. I have the black pieces, knight of 3. C5, E4. We have a Sicilian defense. And a couple moves later, it turns out to be a Khan and Maroxybine. Now, before this match, like an hour ago, I studied the entire Maroxybine formation. I'm not joking. I studied literally every possible move, which is like 1 or 2. I found the point behind the moves. I analyzed the best human responses. I went through the Grandmaster database to see what the best moves are that score a lot. And then I came and played. So, knight of 6. And also, by the way, after the Lecaaaaa thing is over, I might go to the high elos. Like, I'm like 10 points away. I might not. Who knows? But, one thing is for certain. Not just a con, an entire Sicilian, mega video is coming. 4 videos, then I'll merge them into a mega video. Who knows? Okay, so, knight c3. Queen c7. The point of knight c3, why you cannot do this is because of this queen check, which wins the pawn. Knight c3, queen c7. Generally, the engine will prefer white on Maroxybine formations because it thinks that the space advantage is good. Bishop e3. Bishop b6 is preparing bishop b7. That's all theory. Bishop b2, bishop b7. There it is. Another book move. f3, book move. Most of the time, y'all be like, I can't play f3. Well, in this case, you have to play f3, because if you don't, then things might get complicated. d6 a good move. I know the engine hates it, but it's an absolutely good move. You're preparing against the e5 push, which is, it is coming. Castles, bishop e7, a3, knight b7, rook c1, castles, queen d2, rook a to c8, bishop here. As you can see, all of this is theory. Even queen b8 is theory. And one of the top engine moves. I'm not joking. No, f4 was a mistake. Apparently this move was winning because you attack a lot of things at the same time. But rook f2 e8, it's theory, but also not. We have f5. I struck with d5. Knight retreats. That's also like one of the things I saw in the Grandmaster's database. The point of it is to reroute the bishop all the way to c7. h3, I don't understand why it's a mistake. I guess you can just pile up the pressure on the pawn, and that doesn't happen. g4, I'm sorry. Here, taking the knight is absolutely good, but it doesn't, and I take the bishop. I have the bishop here now, so it is up to me to open up the position. The engine gives away this to, like, gambit this pawn. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. Gambit the pawn to try and open the position. That's the point. Anyway. That is not his fault. That's a little too complicated for me. Okay, he puts the knights here. Takes. Taking is a mistake, apparently, but whatever. We take like this. That's also a big mistake, which I cannot explain why, and my opponent doesn't either. I mean, it's probably because of the weakened like dark squares or something. I don't know what it is. It's a good move as far as I'm concerned. Um, H4, trading the rooks, but not now. We move the bishop one more time, and now I had to take the rook, and after he took back, I had to take the pawn. I missed this brilliant, because after they take, then this is a fork. I missed this idea. Missed the chance to play a brilliant move, but whatever. That was gonna be the first brilliant of the entire tournament, but I missed that chance, so we go for this one. Okay, takes, massive simplifications, and we're onwards to a dead draw. Mind you, this game went for like 80 moves, for like 70 moves more. This is a knight and pawns versus bishop and pawns. What side would you choose? It depends really on the position. It's a dead draw here. There was this tactic with like taking the pawn, because if they take, then you take, and it's still apparently like a draw. I digress, so that's a little too much. This is a more human move, trying to undermine the structure, which is in fact undermined. King moves, trying to threaten this trade. Let's say you do not trade, I will take you. Or actually, in this case, it's not like, yeah. What's the second top end move here? Let's see. Knight d2. So if I don't trade, then if he doesn't like remove the knight, then I'll go here, here. I'll take like distant opposition. He will go here and will most likely be repeated into a draw. This is just a draw position. It just confirms the fact it's going to be a draw. That's the whole point of these moves. Bishop g4, the knight goes, and here we advance with our king. That's a really good move. He takes this distant, nice little opposition. I snipe my bishop across the board to patrol the pawns. That's a mistake because of the opposition. And after the knight goes here, I go here targeting the pawn chain. He goes here, I go here, and not a draw. And before you criticize me in the comments saying this is a pawn blunder, here goes my thought process. Takes, which happens. Takes with check, what happens. And then I would... Yeah, that is the unfortunate error. But my idea was this, which also happens, and it's also a big mistake, because of king c3, e4. Oh, oof, yeah, that's tough. King f4, and now the king. By the way, you cannot take this knight because this pawn promotes. This is the only move. Knight goes here. The bishop patrols the pass pawn. Takes, here, only move. Knight goes here, takes the pawn, which is passed here. I have to give up the pawn, unfortunately. Eventually, I do have to give up the pawn. And I give up the pawn. And now it is only a matter of time to reach the 50 move rule and make a draw. The game went for an abhorrent amount of time. We had like 1 minute on the clock. And the whole point is you have to leave your bishop here staring directly at the pawn, otherwise the pawn will promote. And this goes on for a while. And in fact, the pawn starts pushing. That's the problem. And that's where I get anxious, because the pawn is pushing. But I was very confident it was still a draw. And in this position, I had to go here. That's the only move. Because if you don't do that, there's this. And it is officially mate in 6. I take the knight, I go here, and I miscalculated the tempo because of this, and we lost the game. 101 moves. That is the longest game in Lecaaaaa history. That is legitimately the longest game so far. There is no other game with that high accuracy from both players, 85 and 87 respectively, that reached 100 moves plus. There is literally not a single game like that. But you know what they say? It's the last mistake that kills you, not the first one. And in fact, that quote came true. And that quote was, yeah, that. After this match, I was horrible, distressed. I was upset. I was angry that I lost this, and I went on to play the second game 30 minutes before its start time because I wanted to be done with this. Because maybe I will not be making it on the finals. Maybe I'll make it as a wild card. Who knows? I don't know how these things work, but I was pretty upset, and that was my only chance of ever acquiring a spot on the finals. Let's go to the next game. So for the next game, we have a game against the 1300. At the time, I was tilted. I was angry. It was like gonna be a repeat of what happened last Lecaaaaa tournament, but this time I wouldn't lose. We have Slav defense, F4 Slav. By the way, I have a video on the F4 Slav. You can go check it out. In this case, you have to punish your opponent with like something like this, but I didn't figure it out. It was that good. Now I know it says here F4 is a mistake, but let me turn this off. Let me. Do you think there's like that bad of a position for white? Yes, the E2 pawn is weak, but you're gonna push it and it's gonna have 3 defenders. You're gonna be fine. Okay, knight f6. Takes, knight f3, knight e7, knight c6, I'm sorry, a3. That is to prevent any knight moves. In this case, you need to prevent the fact that, let's say you play normally, that this is possible. You need to prevent that. Luckily, in this case, you've got this, but I, just for good measure, in case I forgot, a3. e6, very common move, g3, trying to go exactly what the video said, trying to go for the fianchetto setup. Bishop g2, e3, castles. This is all, by the way, on the video, so if you want to check it out, link on the comments. Anyway, knight b5, attacking and threatening the bishop. I do a draw offer, he doesn't accept it. Now, g5 is ludicrous, but the engine loves it. The whole point is you're trying to go on the same side, king side attack, and try to get more space. Here, I didn't like the move, but I had to play it. Knight reroute. I don't know why the king had to move, but sure. Here, there was a tactic here, this, and if they take, then apparently you're better. No, you're not. I don't know what the engine is trying to say here. Anyway, whatever. That's what the engine recommended. I do not recommend it here. Attacking the weak pawn again, and now I'm losing because I hang a pawn of my own, which is also attacking the queen. I could have done this though, but then the knight would have taken. So yeah, I had to take like this and accept the fact that I was going to be down a whole fucking piece. But I have some sort of compensation to the fact that I also just like calm kicked me out of the move. Yeah, before this there was like this nice little rook hang. After this move, that was a rook hang. And it is only +1. Why is it +1? Well, it's because I'm only up a pawn, and my king is really weak. And they also have like a nice, how should I put it? A light square bishop. I do not. My light squares are horrible. Queen c6 check, winning the bishop like this style. Now I'm winning because I can do this, and if they defend, I can go here, and if they do this, then I can go. Well, I could have gone here, apparently, and then that was possible, but I didn't like that, so I went like this instead, and put pressure, forked, and it was just a matter of conversion, taking the pawns, taking opposition. Now, you might be wondering why I was a little bit more patient and moved my king, like, here. That was because I was, let's say you take this pawn. I mean, you're always in time to stop this pawn, but I wanted to be 100% sure I could stop this pawn. Not the most accurate way, but, you know, it's whatever. Now I take the 3 pawns, and we check, take the opposition. Opponent is on permanent rook rank. We sack the rook for the knight because at the end of the day, we have a 2-0 majority on the queen side, and those pawns on the king side don't matter because they'll either get traded off, or I will use my passed pawns on the queen side as decoys, and I will win the endgame. And so my opponent resigned on this move because he tried to go for my pawns, which are decoys. And if you try to go for the queen side pawns, it would also be decoys. So these are my games. I don't know if I'll make it to the finals as a wild card because there is a guy with like 3.5 points, which is half a point above me, which is ridiculous. Um, and I'm gonna show you some games that some people played, and we'll close off this video. So let's go straight to some games that need to be brought up because they were either funny or ridiculous or instructive. We'll find out. All right. So you might have realized above the time is kind of different from the previous clips. That's where I had to go somewhere. Yeah. Anyway, that doesn't matter. We have D4 9 of 6, and we have the old Indian defense, the Ukrainian variation. I've never seen this before, like the Ukrainian variation of the old Indian defense. What, is there a new Indian defense? I don't know. You can correct me in the comments if you want. So D5, Bishop F5, okay. Bishop G5. So when you let away somebody get away with garbage, they will just punish you, like, yeah, I mean, what? Don't play knight here. Uh, let's say, okay, so let's say you're playing like d4. They go knight f6. You can of course go for the Trimpowski to avoid all of this Indian defense stuff. You can go c4, and once they go d6, well, knight c3, and when they go e5, well, just push. But when they pull out their bishop out, of course you're gonna have to play something like not f4, but developing the knight or doing something. No, bishop g5. You don't have to, but it's optional because now it'll just play bishop e7 and you wasted time. Because I will say wasted time because you took the thing. And taking the thing and then kind of open position is not the greatest. That's why you move a thing 2 times and you take one thing, and that's why I'm mad. But e4, good move. Bishop g6. Now the bishops are just staring. Once the position opens up, it's going to be pretty bad news. Knight f3. c6. This is a nice little pawn break idea. Bishop d3, a5, and rook c1, castles, a3. Probably going to stop any further queenside expansions. Knight a6, knight a4, copying our opponent. Of course, knight a4 is not really the most accurate move. You need to castle your king, get out of the center, but sure, whatever. Now we reinforce the c file. Now he castles. Takes. We have this locked center. I will move my queen. Ooh, this is tricky. Now this is a draw because now you need to take the rook. And after takes, yeah, now have this tactical. Oh, we're not gonna have a tactical game anyway. It's fine. Whatever. We go here, and now they go here. We attack the knight, and we hang this one, and we hang this. And after you try to put triple pressure, they're gonna take off that bishop, and now you don't have a bishop here anymore, and you're gonna lose a pawn. Okay. The bishop takes this free pawn, but now you gotta go back now. Okay, good. Now you're getting a little crossbait a little bit here. You should be a little bit more careful about your pieces. Rook b8, good move. Defending. Oh. Oh, doesn't get spotted. The reason why this is crossing is because that bishop, if you did not realize, is kind of trapped. And if you try to do this, then this is just crossing. I mean. Anyway. It doesn't happen. Why would it happen? Okay. Attacking the queen. Wow. Oh, that's kind of nasty, but oh, yeah. And there's a massive simplification. The pawn structure looks like it's a staircase. Like, it looks so funny. Just 2 rows of doubled pawns, which are also like kind of isolated if you think about it. Bishop goes here. Knight takes this awesome outpost. Bishop moves. King moves. Putting pressure, but now. So, not this, which forks and wins probably. But this. Okay. King moves up. It is +4, by the way. I just want you all to realize. The pawn goes here. Check. Don't give checks for no reason, because after this move, then you need to go back, and now black has time to do all this. King goes up now. Yeah, that pawn was pretty. Yeah, the engine went from +3 to +1.8, which is a massive advantage blow. That's because the pawn was really strong there. It was a pass pawn too. Now we're gonna have to play with the imbalances on the pieces. Opposite color bishops. and the fact that white has an extra piece, and yeah, it's kind of awful. And the imbalance is on the king side. Two pawns which are connected versus four pawns which are both doubled, but the king is there. Both kings are actually there. Everything about it. Okay, what a move. Check. King moves now. Check. King moves. I understand the idea behind Black's move was he's gonna do a draw. But I'm not gonna. Oh, okay. Simplification. Not simplifying. Now this is a tough endgame for both sides, and they will have to be precise. And White will most likely win this endgame because of the fact that White is up an extra piece and should probably use that piece. Okay, we're gonna start the endgame. Oh yes, so not taking the free piece and then being completely comfortable in the endgame, but instead just moving away from the piece. What was that bishop even doing? Like, was it? It's not scaring anybody. Okay, the bishop just dances around, you defend the pawn, you attack the knight, and here, and then here, and then here, and attack the thing, here, defending, and a couple moves later. It looks awful for black, by the way, just saying. White is maintaining a plus 1.4 advantage because of the extra piece, and a couple moves later, which is a long while, the game ends in a draw. By repetition. I do not understand how that happened. Accidental draw? I don't get it. Let's go back and see. So, we're on move 45. This is the final position. Okay. Let's see. Takes here. Solid. Alright. And, very similar to move 54. Very similar to, well, kind of similar, everything about it. What move was it? I think it was that. Yeah, it was good, but somehow black managed to clutch a draw. The position got repeated 3 times by accident, which is amazing. It's amazing. Let's go to one more game, I suppose. Alright, so a 68 or 64 move long game. Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen, we got a long one ahead of us. D4, E5. Oh, the England Gambit. How many times have I trash talked about the England Gambit? I cannot count. England Gambit on a 10-5 game. Come on. Like, play it on a speed game at least. Takes. Knight C6. Okay, knight F3. Are you gonna go for the cheeky little opening trap? Okay, again, gentlemen, I will make a video on the England Gambit on how to destroy it and shatter it to pieces. Along with, the Con Mega video that is going to be coming, which is going to be split into 4 parts. There's an announcement on both the Discord and YouTube by the time this video is uploaded. Yeah, this is the best way to, meet the England, and eventually we're going to get this, and you're going to have a +1 advantage. Anyway, that's not the point. So, White falls for the trap. He goes straight into the England Gambit main line. Queen before check. 3 pieces are being attacked at the same time. Bishop d2. Takes here. Alright. There's this common trap that they go here and then they get pinned by this. And now they're losing. Don't fall for this trap, ladies and gentlemen. Don't fall for this trap. And I will make sure you don't fall for this trap. Knight c3. Bishop b4. Rook b1. Danger levels. Queen a3. And yeah, there's... Despite White falling for the trap, it is plus 2.6 because of the fact that White is threatening a lot of things. Take this free pawn, you get slaughtered. And in fact, they take the free pawn, and then in a little bit, yeah, it's... Now, okay, that move was a lot more accurate because of, this, and after they do that, and you just go... You give up the pawn completely, because if they take it, then they get razor-shaped. I mean, and if they try to defend like this, that rook is hanging, and then after they remove it, then that knight is hanging, and then that pawn is hanging. It's a mess. Don't play the England, because you're gonna end up in a position like this. Queen g5 check. Night Blocks. That was a bit elo, by the way. I'm starting to feel like my game with Flinty, which was the guy that destroyed me on move 102, wasn't as bad as this game. And that makes me feel better about myself. Alright, takes. So not taking this, which is dominant, because not only does it threaten the rook, it threatens like mate. Like if you like, oh, I'm so smart, I'm gonna take this free pawn. Wrong, you get mated in one. Yeah, tough, tough, tough. All right, so we take the pawn instead and help our opponent develop, voluntarily losing the rook. Amazing. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. Are you you had one job to take that rook and threaten mate. You don't do that. Okay. Now there's a tactic. It doesn't get played, of course, but the tactic is this: you take this, and then the whole point is that this is a draw, according to no, it's not. Why is the engine saying it's a draw? The point is that you play this, I think, and then black has to respond like this, and now it's not a draw. Okay. Engine is so smart, guys. And then after this, then you will just take some free stuff and you win back your material with relative ease. That's the whole point. You're just opening up the king and winning back your material. E3, it's not a bad move. It just prepares the bishop for development. I don't hate it. Alright, bishop g4, and it is +1 again because of you blocking the spin, because it doesn't matter too much. Knight g to e7. Castles. Not bad. King d7. The point of it is you can't quite do this. Like you're supposed to be here and not moving your king. You can't do this now. So we have king d7 instead. It's fine. I don't hate it. You're trying to castle by hand. Attacking the queen. Going all the way there. And now this was a tactic, by the way. If you take, then yeah, you're kind of slaughtered. Yeah. So whatever. Knight goes here. He gets attacked. Yo, come on, man. Listen, you don't have to attack things when you see things, okay? Just go here. I know it's a bad move, but hypothetically speaking, let's say this is bad. This is not like possible. You give black a couple of moves. Let's say that's also not possible. You give black a couple of moves, they're gonna consolidate. Like this position is -0.2. If you give black a couple of moves and you mess around, black will consolidate, and you don't want that. So, of course, we have 94, f5, and hanging this, which, if you did not realize, of course you could take the free pawn, and if they take you, well, they're kind of in for a bad time. They're kind of in for a bad time. No, instead we'll just give this a beautiful check. This beautiful check, which it relies on the fact that this pawn is pinned and you can't take like this. So now the king moves here. Okay, now you have to move the knight. Good. Rook g8, not a bad move. Trying to instigate on the fact that this file is open. Knight goes here. I am suspecting there's going to be a reroute soon. No, there's no reroute. He just trades. Okay. Now it is -9. No, -0.9. Why is it close to -1? It's because after takes, or well, it doesn't matter what you take, honestly, and you need to go here to like instigate. I don't know why. But if you play lazy moves like this, you're gonna hang something, and I hate to break it down to you, but I feel like black is winning here because the fact that he's threatening checkmate in one move, and you have only this defensive resource, which is countered. But if they plays, instead of that has to sack the rook, unfortunately. That's a very common checkmate pattern. Takes, king moves. By the way, the moment the king moved, the advantage dropped off a cliff. I don't know why. Queen moves again. Okay, queen moves again. -1.3, -3.8, because we forgot that this knight is actually not defended because it is pinned. Check. Awesome. King moves out of the way. Now the queen is under attack. Oh my god, this game caused me asphyxiation. Holy crap. Alright. Takes the free pawn. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. When you see a free pawn in a position like when you're opposite sides and pieces are still on the board, in this case there are not that many, But let's say you're opposite sides and your opponent's like offering you free pawns. Sometimes it's good to not take them, like H and G pawns, A and B pawns. It's not always good to take them when you're opposite sides because they might use those like open files and open lines to attack you. Be careful, folks. All right, and again, not playing the normal human move this in order to have some to generate some sort of attack, but instead we just move here on the closed file. All right, bishop moves. Why is the king moving? I don't know. The rook attacks the pawn, which is of course ignored. I mean, straight up ignored. Now the oh, oh my god, it is check, and when you take, you lose the queen. The worst part is, it is not over. It is a two rooks and it is two rooks versus a queen. Now, the reason why this position is bad for black in this certain occasion, sometimes two rooks can beat up a queen. It is because of the fact that the queen can bully the king and might lure him away with the pawns, and because the rooks aren't really scary at the moment. So, yeah. Queen check. King moves. Oh, yes, that was what we were waiting for. The fork. When you're fighting against the queen and you don't have a queen, you need to make sure everything is defending everything else. In this case, that's not the case. Takes the free pawn. Okay, so there are two connected pass pawns on F and G. How do you deal against the connected pass pawn? You move your king. Okay, good. Check. Move your king. Check again. You move your king and another check. We're gonna have a draw. Don't have a draw. Okay, good. Okay, now the players bring their kings. Plus 1.8 to plus 2.6 because you hang a pawn. Like I said, you literally moved the rook out of the protection of the pawn. What was the thought process? Now there's like 4 threats. There's the pawns, which are like 3. Then there's also the queen, which is 4. And the king goes up this on a spiritual journey to find salvation. King just moves and what a move! The point is takes and then you give this check. Unnecessary. You didn't have to play that, but sure. Fancy for my liking. Ooh, another check. Ooh, bring the king. Oh, now it's black's time for counterplay. Ooh, check and check and check again. Draw? No draw. Check again. Oh, no checks. All right. Now it's black's time to instigate. So queen goes again here. And that doesn't do much. Attacks the queen. Check. Here. King moves for no reason. The one thing you need to avoid in a position like this is to get forked. Oh my god. My fucking flu recovery is like slowed down after watching those games. Oh. Ooh, yeah. Now it's over. Oof. Oh my god. And I'll show you like 1 or 2 more games and we'll close off today's episode. Alright, for the next 2 games, let's begin. We have a Friends. Now, as a guy that used to play the Friends, it's a good opening for like 80% of the CIS audience, and it is played. I think it is still played at top level. It was played at the World Championship with like Ding Loren and Gukas. It was played. Caught really by surprise, like the Friends on top master level. Wow. And we have the advanced variation. So now you gotta play c5 here, because if you don't play c5, you're boxed in and you're gonna suffocate to death. So yeah. c3, the whole point is to add pressure on the d4 pawn. You can also play this ridiculous move, like just in order to go here and put even more pressure on the pawn. But then there's more lines for that, so yeah. Knight f3, queen b6, a3, bishop b7. That's the French bishop, which is so bad. b4. And if you trade that bishop, you're going to be so happy with your life. Takes, rook c8. Alright. I kind of hate white for placing the bishop there. You could have placed it here and be on an active square, but now the bishop stares out to nothingness for now, for probably the rest of the game. And in fact, that bishop stays there for quite a while. Like the game goes on, and I mean, why would you trade that? I mean, yeah, you're losing. I mean, you're kind of gonna lose the spawn, but yeah, it was a good bishop. But at least you split the pawns and you save your pawn. All right, uh, knight d2, castles. Knight goes here. All right, so now the pawn is fortified extremely. Uh, you don't have to move your friend's bishop too much, but sure. All right, queen moves up one square. F6 is a good move, but I mean, white doesn't quite have to respond. In fact, this knight outpost is really good for white because you're killing some activity. Okay, knight moves. The rook is now contesting for the file, adding pressure, defending, takes, takes. I don't know why not taking this first and causing some damage and discoordinates on the black position, but fine. It is the friend's bishop, and like we said, the friend's bishop kind of sucks, and maybe black might be happy to trade that off. Alright, takes the knight, takes, takes. Not taking with this. I know some people are scared of the pass pawn, but you have a 3-on-2, and if enough pieces get traded, that isolated pawn on d5 will be kind of weak. But sure, I don't hate that. Alright, queen moves. Rook goes here. The queen joins in. This is Aljogin's gun. Alekhine's gun, for those that do not know what I said. The point is you directly pointing your opponent 19 points of material on like the same file. And h3, calmly h3. This is a top engine move. That's like among the top engine moves. Calmly h3. In order to give your king a little loft. Alright, h6. This one has an idea of preparing z5. Alright. And now we're turning the spawn. It's probably defended. Yeah, you could have taken that. And if that happens, then you can just go here with track, take with track, and when they move, you can actually create some sort of counterplay. But it's fine, it's missed by this 1100 that is playing with, it is another 100 and 1500, I forgot who's who, whatever. Anyway, here. Well, I don't hate that move, but you could have taken the one pawn that was going to be like the big threat, but sure. Okay, instigating on the file, good. Trading the queens. Alright, so now the engine will start considering this as a draw. Because opposite color bishops, if the rooks get traded and enough pawns, this will be an easy draw for both sides. In fact, already the engine is thinking that white does not have a lot of advantage, because it's just dropping to point 4 rapidly. Alright, bishop moves there to stop like any movement with the pawns. Rook goes here, hanging the pawn, but it's not taken. In fact, we go for danger levels, which are not quite danger levels. F4, before all this, F4 is really good, because if they take, then their structure is kind of damaged. And in fact, the engine doesn't even want to recapture just yet. And now, of course, you recapture. Yeah, so, whatever. It's fine. Rook A1. Now, what could possibly be the idea behind this move? Moving away from the one file, you had a lot of counterplay. Okay, now that bishop's kind of boxed in, but it's fine. You're protected. Oh, that was the idea. Okay, now, alright. White has a plan. King here. Pawn goes. Alright, moves. All the pawns are almost on the dark squares. Rook goes here. King moves. Attacking the pawn chain. Moves again. Ooh, gotta go back. What the? I don't know why the thing tilted. Anyway. Ooh. Attacking the pawn chain, continuing. Actually, you're gonna win a pawn here if you do not defend accordingly. Gives a check. Good. Nice. Go up. Attack the rook. Yes. Take the pawns. Oh, don't take the pawns. Sure. Takes. Takes. Doesn't take. Sure. Takes. Takes. Ooh. Takes. Alright. Now black is winning. Why is black winning? Because of the pawns. There is a pass pawn on d5. There is a 2-on-1 on a6 and b7. And yeah, now black's king is also able to stop the 2-1-1 on the king side. Pointless move, doesn't do anything. Check, here. Takes, here. Here. And the pass pawn is going. Oh, that was you had to find this to cover like the pass pawn. Whatever, it's fine. Whatever. Here. Oh, why you not pushing? You literally you pushed the pawn once. You took all the pawns in order to push it. Why are you not pushing it? Anyway, goes back. Okay, sure. Oh, now the pawn is going, so you need to be a little careful. Oh, yes, nice. Abandoning our pawn. Oh God. Oh, we need to be a little careful, or the pawn's gonna hang. All right, it's not hanging. Discover check. Ooh, discover check. Ooh, now our pawn is lost. Ooh, stop sending me YouTube notifications that feel awful. Overprotecting. We forgot to realize that our bishop is protecting the pawn. All right. Oh, what a move! What a move. You know what's funny? Attacks the bishop, which is defended by a pawn, and moves. Horrible. Alright. Y'all react on moves, and you don't have to react on moves. You just play your own thing sometimes. Attacking the bishop. Ooh. Going back. Oh, attacks. Ooh. This time you have to move the bishop. Ooh. Hanging the pass pawn. Let's go. Now this is a dead draw with perfect play. Are we going to have perfect play? I doubt that, but sure. Alright, now it's just a dead draw. There is nothing here. Just a dead draw. It's still a draw because of the hero bishop. Alright. Sure. Yep. This is a draw. It's not a draw. He lost some time. Next game. And for the final game, let's close off with a good one. A nice little Lecaaaaa. Lecaaaaa will probably get you away from beginner chess, but eventually you need to learn some more instigating openings. Like, let's say this. I mean, a lot of people have trash talked the Sicilian. In fact, people were asking me, why are you studying theory on 1600? And I don't know what to say to them. I just like studying theory. Anyway, again, it did the same. I moved my hand for like an inch, and it does that. I don't know why. Anyway, c6, Lecaaaaa. Good. By the way, if you're faced against e5s, the Sicilian, I'm going to be making 4 videos on the Sicilian, the little toolbox you want to start off your Sicilian play. Anyway, c6. This is an advanced variation of the Lecaaaaa. I've never played the Lecaaaaa. I'm not joking. And if I have, it was probably a long, long time ago. Trust me, I've never played the Lecaaaaa. Okay, c5. This is the Gotham chess line, where you give away the pawn, but in exchange, you will be able to develop faster, and you will be able to undermine the center. c3. Knight c6, adding pressure. You've put according to like theory, you put the c5 pawn there in order to give it away. Knight f3. Takes. Okay, sure, you take it. Now it looks like a friends, kind of. But you get a really good friends, though. Alright. So g4, bishop e3, e6, nice, knight e7. I would prefer if the bishop was developed first, like, let's say you did it in Keto, but sure, whatever, it's fine. Knight g7, bishop b5, alright. Knight f5, attacking the bishop, castles. I take that bishop. I hit my mic. Bishop b7. Queen a4. Alright, you need to be a little careful here, because you might lose something. Alright, good. Takes. Take with a pawn. Awesome. So far, so good. I like that. For 1400, that's a lot. That's good. Alright. Now, this is a good move. Why is this a good move? Because, well, the pawn structure is questionable. But I would argue it's kind of good for white because of the fact the f-file is semi-opened. But black has the bishop pair, and that's the advantage that the engine gives away. But we have castle straight away. Knight goes here. Now, taking the bishop is so good. Not taken. Wow. Bro cares about his pony. Alright, h3. Now you take. Takes. Bishop has to retreat. Alright, queen trade. Now, would you want to take this queen trade or not? It really depends on your mood. It is not... This is a tactic. If you take, and you take, then you take. So yes, you hung a pawn. That is the entire point. It is not spotted, however. Ha! Yes, awesome. Okay. And I thought my game was bad. Oh my god. Um. Yeah. Take the queen and then defend your pawn. Okay. Double. Double up on the file. Ooh, what a move. Minus 1.4, minus 1.1. Ooh, the advantage is so big. Oof. Alright. Why would you then she's the knight? They're gonna go here next. Oh god, something is going to be blundered. I can feel it on my bones. You're left with a bad bishop. Okay. This is a mate threat. Oof. Alright. Anchoring in. Here. Nice, nice, good. Take. Yes, nice. Awesome. Amazing. You're amazing. Continue playing. Yes. Awesome. Take the pawn. Oh, you can't take that. Check. Nice. Uh, here. Good. King goes back. Here. Check. Go. Here. What an awesome way to get mated. In 42 moves. Well, that was all the games. I don't know if it'll be like the wild card that like gets added like after all the finals are made. Probably will not because I'm an esteemed individual. I'm joking. Anyway, again, after all this legal thing is over, I'll inform you if I'm gonna move on to the high-lows or not. Who knows? I probably won't. I probably will, but if I don't, then that's because I want that title very, very badly. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. See ya.